Oh my God.
We talked about tipples.
Tipples.
I can't believe we said all those things.
I know. That was like the greatest 5 minutes of the Nerdrotic Nooner, ladies and gentlemen. You'll never see. Actually, it was recorded. It was recorded. So that'll be on the upload. There you go.
Ooh, yeah.
Basically, what we said was Chris is now ultra famous for being on other people's shows, for saying stuff he said on his show a month or two ago.
If you just watch my show, you would get scoops because I know stuff. I drink and I know things.
We were talking about it on Real BBC. We're like, wait a minute, we've heard that before.
Yeah, it wasn't new. It wasn't shocking. And I knew you knew it too. It wasn't, it wasn't a big deal.
Maybe because I was there for some of the conversations.
Yeah, that's very possible.
It's all you, baby. You get your duck-lipped face out, pretty duck-lipped face out there. We'll show that picture in just a second. It's a great picture.
Great one.
But he's all
really? Oh God.
Yeah, you were a little like,
oh God, that's so annoying.
Honestly, I think they should have put the slave Leia picture of you.
That would have been so good if the Daily Mail did that. Oh.
Here's the guy we heard it from.
Hey, I want to say happy belated birthday to Adrian Curry, by the way. William Shatner wished her happy birthday, so that's a fucking W right there. But happy birthday, my lady.
Happy birthday to Alan Ing the Merciless. His birthday was yesterday, but let me say, today we will not be doing a birthday stream at Film Threat.
Because Alan is not gay. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
This is my birthday month. Let's celebrate me. Oh my God. See, it's birthday palooza. Let's go.
We were talking.
We're not all drunk 3PO.
Right. And
this is my birthday month, by the way. So are they Leos? Is it still too early? I don't know. Again, I'm not gay, so I don't know astrology, but
I don't understand astrology.
I don't either.
Yeah, well, I think a birthday month is a red flag. Someone who says it's my birthday month.
Yeah, that's a big
week. It's my birthday weekend. You get one day. It's called your birthday,
dude. And if you're younger, it's acceptable for that day to like have fun for that day. But once you're over 40, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it. You can celebrate 50 because that's like, hey, I made it to 50. That's half a century. And that's it. Yeah. That's all. Then it's like, I'm grateful I'm alive. I'm grateful I'm alive.
This is a depressing thought, but I agree. I agree with Patton Oswalt has a bit about birthdays. I agree with all of his rules. They're like when you're a kid,
except for his rules of marriage. But continue.
Yes, that didn't work out for him too well. But and then every decade, that's fine. But I started making a list of people I know who've died, and it was really depressing.
Wow,
how long is the list?
Well, people that are like good friends and people I know, and like John Schnepp. I love John, and it would just occur to me like people like because we were just at Comic-Con.
So it makes you think of him, yeah.
I always think of John at Comic-Con because it was an ongoing discussion. We would always talk about Kirby and the FF and just everything. It was great. But I started making a list of people I know that are dead. What's weird is when you go to your high school reunion too, and you realize, wow, I have outlived a lot of people. So strange. Weird personal anecdote, Gary. Can I tell you something?
Sure.
I go on a walk every morning. You know about that.
Yep.
I wear this hat on my walk every morning.
Hell yeah.
You see that?
Through LA, through the greater LA area.
So I'm walking in Pasadena wearing this hat, you can see. And I say good morning and hi to everyone. Guess who doesn't look me in the eye or say good morning or hi back? The type of person. If I was keeping track of data.
A woke white woman?
Every time. I can predict it. I'm walking, old people, young people, Asian, and every kind of ethnicity, whatever. Hi, good morning, hi. Except that type of person.
A white woman.
Will not even look at me.
People? You
Exactly.
white people.
Yeah.
It's very
how
strange
dare
just
you.
from this hat.
Just from that hat, because
That
they're yeah, I don't know. I think it's too soon to talk about repealing certain amendments. But yeah, definitely the bane of our existence is woke white women. Like, especially in your part of the world. Holy crap. There in Marin County. Ugh.
You need to get out of there, Chris.
No.
I'll escape at some point. I know I have to. But yeah, it's so consistent. I can predict it. It's like a weird political polling while I'm walking.
I just start walking by him going MAGA. Just to piss him off. MAGA morning.
Yeah. I'm friendly to everybody. I'm like, hey, you're out at early in the morning walking. Oh, I see a lot of dogs. A lot of dogs.
That's good.
So, and you know, it's Pasadena is pretty much like Orange County. Actually.
Yeah, it's very neighborhoody there. It's like an oasis in LA. It's nice. It's got nice neighborhoods that look like, you know, just downtown America, Maple Street, you know.
Yeah, very suburban.
People walking their dogs, and a bunch of woke white women who won't say good morning to you.
Oh my god!
But everybody else will,
or even look me in the eye. It's weird. It's weird. All right, hey, nerd stuff. Let's go.
Let's go. Hi, X-Ray Girl.
Hi. That's it.
That's it. All right. So it was early. I know Valiant Renegade like sent me a link, and it's like, bruh, I'm in bed. Yeah. So they did the Disney earnings call, and Valiant Renegade did it with the boys. And it was more of the same. I don't know if Lady Grimmaster isolated any audio for us, but I don't think it's even necessary. There was nothing. He said nothing. Bob Iger and whoever his hand of the Iger was, said absolutely nothing. The stock is down as last time I checked. Let's check again.
It was in the 80s last I saw.
Yeah. So the market, of course, Greg on fucking Twitter is great. He put up a tweet yesterday like, I survived the recession of August 5th, 2024. Because it kind of bounced back. That was pretty gnarly what happened in the stock market. And I'd just like to say, I'm not a financial analyst. Are you a financial analyst, Chris?
Not really.
No. How about you, X-Ray Girl?
Oh, no.
My parents wanted me to be.
And that's why you rebelled and became a producer on Nerdrotic. Oh my God, your father must hate you.
Absolutely.
Alan Ing must hate you so much. Yeah, I don't own a single stock anymore. I think I had some Tesla stock left over from when I worked there. It is gone. Made a couple bucks. Pretty cool. But now, yeah, I don't own any stock. That's why. It's because it's gambling. Tangibles. You know what I own? Collectible comic books, property, stuff. Not much. I don't know. I love gold. Gold might be good, but yeah. So it's at 87.84. So when Bob Iger, when he defeated Nelson Peltz, it was at 110. It's at 110. So it's lost a lot since then. It's dipped below 90. And basically it was, hey, we had 183 Emmy nominations. Now, what fucking stockholder is going to give a shit about 183 Emmy nominations? And then, or maybe he said awards. So maybe he was including Academy Awards and Emmys. Don't really care. Then he started listing off Fox TV shows. The Bear, Shogun. These are FX shows. They have nothing to do with Disney. What just made $1 billion, or it's about to, Deadpool and Wolverine, a Fox property. Now, Pixar, Inside Out 2, looks like that's going to be the biggest movie of the year because I think they're pulling Deadpool and Wolverine early.
What?
Yeah. That's what
Pulling
I heard.
it from theaters?
Pulling it from theaters
Why?
at a certain time. They're going to stick to the date because they're retarded.
End it.
No, you let that thing ride for the rest of the year.
Right.
For the theater's sake. For the theater's sake. Think about the theaters. Just let it go for the rest of the year. It will make money for the rest of the year.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to fill it in 3,000 theaters, but you can keep like a couple open and it'll be fine. And it'll still money, but whatever. I digress. So the $2 billion films are not helping it at all. because the parks are suffering. You have Universal digging into their market share. Oh, and you also have Disney Plus isn't profitable. Remember, it was promised, Chris, to be profitable this year.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be.
Well, they bundled ESPN with Hulu with Disney Plus, and pretty soon, I don't think you're going to have a choice. They also have the ad-free tier for Hulu, which I can tell you that I paid for until the reason I paid for it is so I could watch Secret of Skinwalker Ranch and Ancient Aliens live. Problem is, there's still ads on them.
Are you serious?
Yes, because if you pay for ad-free, it's only for certain stuff. So I ditched it because they're raising the price on that. And that was like $70, but I just got it back on YouTube again. So I got live TV on YouTube. I'll support YouTube. Google's evil too, but at least that's something I'm involved in. So, and they're going to raise that their bundle up to like $90, dude. That's cable.
Are you?
That's cable. That's for their live TV package on Hulu. And they justified it like, oh, well, we're doing fine. So when asked, they were asked by a bunch of bankers who supported them a bunch of softball questions. So it was basically a big fucking nothing burger, but it didn't excite stockholders at all, which is good, except those stockholders should have been paying attention to vote in Nelson Peltz. And it wasn't ousting Iger, by the way. You're just putting a dude on the board. That's all you were doing. Putting some representation on the board for people who aren't a bunch of DEI, Kool-Aid swallowing activists.
If you want to get perspective on where Disney Plus stands, I put a link to an article from David Poland that breaks down where Disney is in the marketplace. Guess what the number one streaming service is? You know the answer.
It's YouTube.
Yeah, we're on it. It's the biggest. The link I put in private is look at the chart. You can zoom in. It breaks it down in this chart where, look at the top, YouTube, then Netflix, then Prime, then you get to Hulu and Disney. But you see what they are in the marketplace. It's so tiny overall.
Well, look at where Disney Plus is, and it's considered this big player, and that was just a bunch of hype.
Yeah, it's
just a bunch of hype. It's not a big player. Amazon is a huge. You know why Amazon it works is because you can rent stuff there. It's so like you can rent, you could buy. It's such an easy place to be. That's why it's even in the conversation. Honestly, Hulu should be above Amazon Prime with as long as Hulu's been around, but they did a lot of stupid things.
Prime is only above them by 0.1%.
0.1%. Yeah, Hulu should be higher. Like Hulu should be second to Netflix. Absolutely. But just longevity.
Tubi is the same as Disney Plus. I mean, my movie is hilarious. On Tubi. My movie's on Tubi, right? And it's 2%. So is D Plus 2%. It's crazy. And it's just this puts everything in perspective.
Yes.
I think.
Absolutely.
This is why Acolyte made no waves. No one watched it. The conversation was people dunking on it and then weirdos defending it. So I don't know. It's weird to see. So,
single videos by singular YouTubers were getting more views than an episode of The Acolyte. I am more than convinced of that. You cannot convince me for one damn minute. And I'm talking authentic views, not like somebody popping in for 5 minutes. I mean, somebody watching, I'll be nice, 3/4 of an episode, an actual view of that 25-minute trash. Drinkers videos have more views than all of those fucking episodes. Those episodes do not crack any like a million. They just don't. They just fucking don't. And if they did, they would fast track a season 2. They would you notice they don't fast track seasons on D+. Like look how few we've gotten. Ahsoka was the only one because that's part of Dave Filoni's plan. But at least, you know what, you could argue in the beginning, some people watched Ahsoka. Now, it was smaller than the amount that watched Obi-Wan, but you're right. You look at Tubi. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, please. Isn't that the one Rupert Murdoch owns?
By the way, Tubi is free. I watch movies on Tubi. And also, by the way, the video I DM'd to X-Ray Girl this morning called White Fetish got more views than The Acolyte.
Yeah.
Yeah, White Fetish. Look it up. It got a lot of views, and X-Ray Girl enjoyed it. She clicked like. Wait, what?
I don't think I clicked like.
I sent you the.
I should.
Yeah,
We
but
had full
back to this. Back to stuff we can show.
Sorry, Gary.
I don't need my third live stream in a row getting age restricted and then having to fight it. And yeah.
What did I say? Should I not say?
No,
okay.
it's fine. It's fine. I don't know anymore. I don't have to know. We got age restricted yesterday for the real BBC.
Somehow, I don't understand.
Every stream I do gets the yellow, and I have to fight it, and I win 9 times out of 10.
I usually win too, but we beat the age restriction on a couple, but not yesterday. Something so horrible happened on the real BBC yesterday that I can't even remember it. Usually I can think of it.
I watched it. I can't recall anything.
Yeah. I've got my guy looking into it. Nothing's going to change. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It was a good show. Go check it out if you're over 18. If you're not, then
yeah.
Sorry.
Tough shit. So Tubi, I believe, is owned by Rupert Murdoch, which is funny because he sold off the studio Fox. So Iger's out there bragging about all the Fox properties that he paid $72 billion for and is in the hole for forever. It's a giant corporate shell game. And as they said on Valiant's stream, if you have to obfuscate, if you have to lie, if you have to really push the edge of the truth, you're not in business. You're not in business anymore. You're in preservation. You're past maturity. You're not profitable. If you're, they go, hey, we turned a profit, but every one of these giant corporations, go look at their debt. Go look at their debt. It's a giant fucking shell game. This is why this form of corporatism is the devil, is absolutely the devil. And you know what? I don't know what the solution is because I'm not a fan of the government breaking it up either, because that gives the government too much power. I believe in the free market. I do believe in the free market, but it certainly gets manipulated by the government through Wall Street to prop up these assholes to keep funneling money to the government so they can get paid off. That's not capitalism. That's not capitalism.
Nope.
So, if that stock market crash hung on, and it's coming, folks. If that one's not the one, there's another one coming, because during COVID we printed a bunch of money that's worthless, and we have to pay the piper at some point. So that crash is coming. Be ready for it. Just be ready for it. Hunker down. Not a financial analyst, just a guy who's been through a couple of crashes and survived them. But, it was crazy. So, that crash is coming, and we're going to hear shit like too big to fail again. Yeah. Man, it's such a shame. So many people, not you in the chat, but so many people forgot about 2008. And
that was the worst.
Every banker that should be in fucking prison right now, and Obama bailing every single one of them out. Your boy, everybody's boy Obama became a corporate D-rider like he always was.
Dude, I remember that. All my freelance work at the time just dried up. I was working at G4. I was doing all this stuff. I had freelance going, and everything went away. Every marketing department cut back on their budgets. It was slashed to zero. So I mean, everyone was hurting.
Yeah, and that's what Hollywood's going to face. They're already contracting anyway. Imagine if a recession hits. Oh, wait. Imagine when the recession hits. Because we were in one, and somehow we magically got out of one in an election year. But believe me, if the cackling chicken gets into the White House, we will have a mother of a recession. And it's been the can has been kicked down on the road. It's almost unavoidable at this point. So be smart, because it's a big club and we ain't in it. And they don't give a fuck about us. So as George Carlin says. So back to this. So we were looking at the streaming chart that Chris provided. YouTube is number 1. And it will be impossible for any major streamer to compete with YouTube. What Netflix has done is pretty remarkable. That's pretty remarkable. I don't know if they can keep that up. That's why you're starting to see streamers venture into live sports, because that's their one way of competing with live streams. Live sports, big money, will always be big money. And it's going to drive advertising. So advertising, we thought we were done with it with streaming. We're not. You know where you are done with it, at least for now? Physical media. Physical media, ladies and gentlemen. I watched Logan last night for the second time. Chris Gore.
How does it hold up?
Well, I had to, because I don't own it. So I had to search for it on 4K. There's a ton of copies out there, but they weren't on 4K. So I found it on 4K. But how does it hold up? Because I only watched it once. It's a movie that I went in. I'm like, I liked it. I like what they did. That was different. That was cool. That was interesting. It was depressing as fuck. I never want to see that again. I felt the same way. I would say I would be a little more critical of it now. Although what's her name as X-23 is great. I like her as X-23. I've never had a problem with the character X-23. I thought it was an interesting concept. And then in the comic books, they just turned her into the Wolverine, which she's not, and she'll never be. But yeah, I thought it was fine, but it was certainly paving the way for the bait and switch, old pale and stale character passing down the mantle to the new girl who's the key to everything and the source of the future. I mean, we see that theme so much, Chris, in Star Wars. We saw it in Rebel Moon recently. We saw it all through Star Trek, the new Kurtzman Trek. We saw, the Disney, not just D+ shows, Disney Star Wars, where everything runs through the girl is the key to everything, and the old legacy character has to protect her, and then for her to move on, she has to die. And it's flipping the hero's journey and the mentor and blah blah blah. But the girl, the difference is the hero's journey is the girl never gets mentored by the male. The girl mentors the male and teaches him how to love again or some shit right before he croaks. So that's Picard season 1. All of Disney Star Wars, the Disney trilogy, again, Rebel Moon, and I could go on and on and on with a very long list. But I think that was one of the, early contenders, we'll say. Not Patient Zero. But.
That's actually a concept that has been pushed by the weirdos that are out there. It's called, there's a word for it, Gary. It's called reverse mentoring.
Mm-hmm.
Where some 20-year-old on TikTok explains something like they have some life knowledge.
Hey,
and I always
that just happened.
Yeah.
We just had a kid from FaZe. I've never heard of fucking FaZe. I don't know what it is. Just mentor all of us, Chris. I think it's a troll.
Right.
And if it's a troll, I respect it. I do, kiddo. I respect it if it's a troll. But a kid has come out and repeated what Hassan said, who wasn't trolling, which is streaming is hard. Streaming is hard. Yeah. Oh my God. Flying in a plane for 17 hours and then having to go shop in Japan and walk around in the heat and stuff and buy stuff. Now, I want to believe that's a troll because I can go, that's a dumb kid. But even on a cocktail of acid, mescaline, barbiturates, and fucking meth, I would never fucking sound that stupid at that age. If you could understand what I was saying.
I would feel so lucky to go on a 17-hour flight, man. I mean, the longest flight I've been on I've been to Japan and New Zealand. New Zealand was like 14 hours, but you can drink, you're sitting, it kind of sucks, but my God, there's no attitude of gratitude.
No.
Or look, I think what you need is life experience. Like I worked restaurants. I was a dishwasher at restaurants. I worked at Burger King. I was a cook. I worked at a factory. I've done so many crap jobs in my teens and 20s that when I had a job where I could write and be creative, I felt so lucky, like I won the lottery. And I wasn't getting paid a lot in the early days of doing Film Threat back when in the 80s and 90s. But I'd done so many crap jobs that I was really grateful. So that person, I think it builds character to have those kind of jobs. Like, didn't Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, he's worked a forklift and knows all about it. Like I admire that. I'm like, wow, that's cool. Heavy machinery. It could kill you. It requires skill. I mean, I think that builds character, helps you appreciate when you get a job that's kind of, I mean, to be honest, we're sitting here with our surrounded by nerd stuff, talking shit. I mean, this is great. I feel so lucky, you know? So yeah.
You are. Yeah, sorry. I was looking
You feel
for
His general research, Gary.
Pop it in Nooner Research. So I need a Business Insider article. They were going over it on Valiant Renegade. That should be in there. That kind of breaks it down. That kind of breaks it down. What the meeting was.
Well, here's the deal. D23 is this weekend. Alan, Ing, and I will be there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's any advantage to attending, to be honest. We'll go on the floor and look at the various booths. Last time I was there, Pixar had a booth. They had a display of all of John Lasseter's Hawaiian shirts. That will not be there, I can guarantee. That was before Me Too.
Yeah.
So I paid to go to D23. Every year it was a cheap ticket. It was fun. Like, all right, we'll check it out. It's cool. I got to see Galaxy's Edge when it was only a model, what they planned for it before it got built and was awful. So big giant display model. So I've gone. Now it's impossible to get to D23, but my understanding is that the major panels will be on Disney Plus. So you can, I don't know if you can stream it, but you can probably comment on it while it's happening. I expect no big reveals. They've got
no. So yeah, what have you heard? What have you heard?
Star Wars has a big announcement. That's what I've heard. They are teasing that some big Star Wars news. I don't know what that could be based on the things we know. So, I don't usually for they did this call. Why didn't they tease at D23? We will reveal our new films for through 2027 or a huge Star Wars project. Don't be specific. Save the reveal for D23.
Okay.
But they didn't. They teased nothing of note. Am I wrong?
No. As a matter of fact, at the earnings call, I think most of the thing that Valiant didn't pick up on this, but it's okay. They were busy like looking at the numbers. But Bob dropped a bunch of names like, hey, this is what we've got coming out. And he named some Marvel movies. He named some Star Wars movies. You know what he didn't name? The Rey movie.
Oh.
Said the Mandalorian movie's coming out, but didn't name the Rey movie. Didn't even cross his mind.
I think Kathleen Kennedy getting a movie, she can announce anything is in development. I think we know everything that's in development at Lucasfilm because that
we know everything they've ever thought about because
right. There's that's stupid. But you have to hold those announcements for when it's really going to happen. And to release those kinds of funds to make and release a movie, you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. And that's above her pay grade. She can develop anything she wants internally. But for it to actually get made, release into the world, she needs Iger for that.
We need a hero to break away from Lucasfilm and write a book on her and just tell us what happened. I want it. I can guess, and I'm guessing you can guess, and a lot of people can guess, and we've been told by people we're in the ballpark, but I want to know what really freaking happened. Like what is going on with this woman?
Yeah.
And not even like it's so late to change the game. Now I'm just curious. Now I'm just simply curious. Like, what is her strategy? Because she is such a dog shit leader. And to stick with her this long because you're afraid it's political capital. That's the only reason she keeps her job. It's political capital. If it was anybody else, if it was Michelle Rejoin, oh yeah, she's gone. She'd be gone. She's there because she's Frank Marshall's wife. Her name is on a bunch of some of the biggest hits in the history of Hollywood. She got Spielberg some crappy coffee, gave him some bad advice, and was his buddy, and got to run the greatest intellectual property in the world that will ever exist for film into the ground. Somebody be a hero. Write a book.
I want an entire chapter of that book about what went into the thinking to not reunite Han, Luke, and Leia in one scene. That's why I think that this collective discussion of Star Wars is a form of therapy for a lot of people who've been longtime fans. The one thing you dreamt about as a kid, the continuing adventures of these characters we love.
And we're seeing the result of because you know what? Some guy who thinks he's an auteur, Rianne Johnson, goes, that's what the fans are expecting, and I just don't make that kind of film. You know, and you know, you don't make good films. But when you do give the fans what you want, when you realize that, like, this is Star Wars, this isn't an art house film. All right. You have building blocks. Art house films are, you know what, to their credit, they're made by the artist. This is made by committee that was on a foundation that was built by your betters earlier that you decided to completely tear apart, build it on sand, and build it in your own image for your ego, putting no research or work into it. You just thought it was another film. When you take on a Star Wars movie, you should know I'm not just taking on another film. You know, you see the concept art for the Trevorrow, Rise of Skywalker, like that shit looks so much more cooler. That spider in the head of the giant. It's like, yeah, let's go. Let's do something. But so you see the result of we put Deadpool and Wolverine in a movie, at best a mid story.
Yeah.
And it's one of the biggest hits. It's the biggest live action hit of the year by far because you put two characters that people wanted. You put old Mad Max into Furiosa, old man Mad Max. That thing makes money.
Yeah.
But we can't do that. You know, and like, listen, it's George Miller's property and that's what he wanted to do. And I do respect that. That's what he wanted to do, but he also lost a bunch of money for the studio. And it would have been great for him to put that kind of work and maybe help his buddy Mel Gibson, who helped his career quite a bit too. You know, hey, little scratch, a little back here and there, you know, because Mel Gibson could still fucking do a Mad Max. And that's what people wanted. You know, people don't want the fifth version of a derivative character from Captain Marvel. They don't want a Miss Marvel, who's Pakistani. That's never going to have broad appeal. America Chavez is never going to have broad appeal. These characters are never, ever, ever going to have broad appeal. They never have. They never will. Captain Marvel doesn't have broad appeal. They just canceled her 8th book in the comics. 8th as Captain Marvel, not even as Miss Marvel. The number goes up if you count Miss Marvel, who was a good character, by the way. The comic fans liked. So they just, it's ego and hubris at this point. And I know Drinker just made a video on like how things are turning around. You know, yes and no. So I don't necessarily think it's going to turn around for Star Wars, for Star Trek, for Doctor Who. Not, like those are dead. Those are gone. I think Marvel has a 3% chance of turning it around.
Nah, I think you have a better chance than that. Maybe.
But they got to survive Ironheart, Agatha, Captain African American, the Thunderbolts. So
at least a year of L's. It's going to be a year of L's.
That's a year of L's between your win, and that's like shooting yourself in the foot again. Instead of just going, we're not putting any of them out. I don't care whose egos we bruise. Doesn't matter. Is Anthony Mackie's ego, is Harrison Ford's ego, I know it's a pretty big ego, is it more important than the legacy of your franchise going into decades? because every piece of crap you put out, you damage that. James Gunn's going to find that out.
I don't know. Now that I know more about his Superman movie, I'm kind of excited.
Authority.
I know, but I'm interested. So
I'm going to go see it, and I hope it's great. I hope it's
do
fantastic.
too. I'm an optimist on that.
But James Gunn went out and lied to a lot of people too. They're not going to forget that. Flash is the best superhero movie I've ever seen. Get the fuck out.
He's a team player. When you're on that team, you support the team.
You can't
I don't
do
blame him for
that's
that.
not the world we live in anymore, though. Like
Yeah.
you need to be authentic now. Now you need to be like, we had to get these movies out of the way, and we're going on to the next one. So many people would have so much more respect for him.
Yeah, but he's got to be. It's a political position. He's not just the director. He's also running that studio. He's got to, maybe that was a bad thing for him to do. But
I would say, don't say it. I would just say, go see The Flash.
That's it. That's all.
That's all you need to say. You don't need to elaborate on that and clearly state something that is true. Because listen, every move is scripted in Hollywood. Everything is fake. It's not authentic. And what Hollywood is going to have to learn how to do is find a way to intertwine that into their scripted entertainment to be authentic, or it will just continue to decline.
But I like that Gunn. At least he doesn't go after people or call fans racist. Or has he ever done that? I don't think so.
Not anymore.
Oh, he did before?
He did before, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of TDS, but then after his incident, he calmed that down a little bit. Now he keeps it into pop culture, and he goes after Grace Randolph, and I'm for that. That's authentic. That's
I don't mind that.
I don't mind that. That's completely authentic. That's fine. Go after Grace. Go after whoever. As far as critics are concerned, I don't give a shit. Especially when they got scoops like horribly wrong. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But here we go. You want to pull up that Business Insider? This will break down the Disney stuff. But yeah, Chris, it's I think what some in Hollywood on Drinker's Video, what some in Hollywood have recognized is that the audience is tired of it. The audience is past this stuff. Yes. And we have example, and it's not like this is new. Spider-Man No Way Home, Top Gun Maverick, Oppenheimer, Barbenheimer, right?
Yeah.
Like you just make fun movies, and like a lot of people didn't like Barbie. I'm not a fan. It wasn't made for me. It just wasn't made for me. That's fine. Yeah. I was fine with Oppenheimer, but people loved it. So when you make something that people want and you make something good, they will go. When you start to push your damn message all the time, you are bringing up like what's behind the decision of not putting Han, Luke, and Leia in a scene together.
Yes.
My son was asking me because my son's really obsessed on The Boys right now. And like the downfall of the show, because he's such a huge fan of the comic. And he's like, why did they gender swap Stormfront? And I'm like, well, you know the answer to that.
Yeah.
It was intersectionalism. It was female empowerment. Even though she was a Nazi, it's a form of empowerment, which shows you the power structures in Hollywood and how fucked up their thinking is. Because Stormfront's a dude. It makes more sense as a dude. It would be more exciting, not as them dating, but for one, they wanted them dating. That's part of the reason. But they wanted also for Stormfront to have power over Homelander. They want to have the female character have power over the male character. That is something before they write the script, Chris, they have the power dynamics already worked out.
Yeah.
To defeat the patriarchy. That is intersectionalism. That's what kills writing. And that's the motivation. So the message was the motivation to gender swap the Nazi to a female. And then they did the girls get it done thing, which I use that clip all the time. And then they lean into it. So they make fun of it, and then they lean into it in the same season.
Yeah, they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. With that.
Season 2 was shit. Yeah. Oh, and for people out there saying that the series is better than the comics, you haven't read the comics. Yeah, you just haven't read the comics.
And I don't know how they're going to stick the landing on the ending. They've ruined it by changing things. One of the most poetic, beautiful, great story when the reveal comes out involving Homelander, whatever.
Homelander and Vought and the message behind that, and yeah,
it's such a great ending in the comics that you cannot do it now. They've ruined it already. I don't know how you can see it's going in a similar direction.
Yes,
but it's not gonna. They can't do it.
They can't. Kind of a bummer. Just go read the comics. There you go.
Unless they can't do it.
They can retcon it in somehow, but it would be so ass backwards. It would be super ass backwards. There's a way they can do it, but it would be stupid.
It would be stupid.
Yes. Share the article, please. There we go.
This is great. Did he know that this would be funny?
Oh my God. I don't know, but that's a good headline.
Oh my God. This shows how stupid Iger is. Is that a
No,
quote from
this is,
Iger?
I don't know.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised because remember the 2 earnings calls ago, he's all, hey, the kids are really into these video games, the video games. Hey, Disney figured it out. You can make money on streaming if you charge more money.
Oh my God.
Here's the problem. They aren't making any money. They've bundled their streaming ESPN. They want to find another bundle partner for ESPN, and they haven't been able to do it in a calendar year. Hulu, which was part of the Fox deal, is part of they got to pay off Comcast. So they got to pay off Comcast $5 billion, whatever, $5 to $7 billion, whatever it is. And they also had to pay $72 billion for Fox. They didn't have that in liquid. That's debt that's earning interest. So Iger comes out and the streaming made $40 million in one quarter, but that was basically because they bundled it with Hulu. So Bob Iger promised Disney Plus would be profitable in 2024. Disney Plus has not been profitable, and now the last 2 earnings calls, he informed the stockholders who voted for him that it will not be profitable this year. It will remain stagnant. This will be a stagnant year. What's really killing them is the parks. Like they're just, the attendance is going down because it's too freaking expensive, and they have brand damage. I'm sure that has something to do with it, with the family. They have brand damage. They have real competition in Universal. Now, I've never set foot in Disney World, and I never will, so I don't know what the experience is like. I'm a Disneyland guy. A lot of Disney World people like to look down at Disneyland, but like those of us in Southern California, Chris, Disneyland's fucking cool. It was cool.
It was great. It's
really
a
cool.
smaller park. I like it. Plus, it's the old school influence from Walt himself.
Yeah,
it feels like it's like walking in a different era. You know,
it's like you enter a different world in the middle of like this really crappy town in Southern California, known as Anaheim. Like Orange County is pretty nice. Anaheim is not one of the nice places. So you remember when Mile High Comics used to have a shop by Disneyland? Do you not remember that? Oh yeah, Mile High Comics in the 90s. Mile High Comics had a shop there, and they had Migos and stuff. So that'd be part of the trip. But yeah, you're walking in a different world. You know, it's very quaint. Everything's like miniaturized, and it's really effing cool. Star Tours, Indiana Jones ride. I rode on that Indiana Jones ride in the early days, Chris. Did you ever ride it in the early days when the flames would like burn?
Yeah, you could
burn
feel it.
Yeah, you could feel the fucking heat, dude. It was
really
awesome. Yeah.
I've been to Disney World. I don't like as much. It's too big, sprawled out. It's always humid or light rain. I don't know. I'm not. Florida is too much humidity for me. I'm not down with it. But Epicverse is supposed to open early in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
They're like on pace to open early. That's competition. Also, from my understanding, because I watch G&D Daily, and they've got the theme park experts that are on there. That like the parks are run down. The new rides are not functioning. They don't have qualified personnel. So a lot of the new things they've opened have failed, such as that hotel, the Star Wars hotel. So it just seems like a real, I mean, it's bad. A lot of times you hear Disney park news, it's about some ride got broke down. There was a fight. Somebody took a crap in the middle of, there's like always, it's like, it seems ghetto, like Six Flags now. I'm not, I mean, that's my impression. And then they always announce, and they mentioned this, got a boo at D23 when they announced that Pirates of the Caribbean, they changed the ride. Instead of the wenches being chased, they were going to change that as they continue to, change classic rides because of political correct.
Yeah, that's
people hate it. No one is asking for it except for nutcases on Twitter. Don't listen to them.
I'm so happy we got to see the OG Pirates of the Caribbean, Chris.
Nobody, I did too.
That's gone forever. That's so sad.
Gone forever. Those wenches were hot.
Dude, one of the most creative rides ever made. It was that and the Haunted Mansion were my favorite rides, just the pure art that went into those things, and like the fact that you're in Anaheim in a building and they're taking you through a swamp and you feel like you're going through like a swamp in Louisiana or something. There's that old man. Dude, and the way they painted the clouds on the ceiling like they do in the Venetian, and it was like everything about it was just pure craftsmanship, and it was freaking awesome. It was immersion, and it was just so cool to see. And now it's PC, and putting Captain Jack in from Pirates, I had no problem with that. It was just the PC shit.
Fine.
Yeah, that was fine.
Yeah, but I hear now that Haunted Mansion may get a PC downgrade.
Oh, well. Hey, I won't notice because I'm not setting foot into a Disney park for the rest of my life.
I haven't been since 2019. I went to Galaxy's Edge after it opened, and I was really disappointed.
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge was terrible.
Oh, God. It was so bad.
Where did the money go? And that's another Kathleen Kennedy decision right there. They had a full-on Star Wars ride. Like, look at J.K. Rowling, the canceled J.K. Rowling. She just canceled every day. Except they're going to do a Ministry of Magic in Epic Universe, which is going to be freaking brilliant. Yeah. And look at that. Have you been to the Harry Potter stuff? Is brilliant. That's like old school Disney.
So good. I've been to the one at Universal in here in California. I've also been to the one in Florida. It is so good. The immersion, the smells, the music, the dragon breathing flames, the food, the design of everything. You can get butterbeer, but with a shot of Jameson.
You could put booze in your butterbeer? I didn't even know that. Yeah.
They do let you put booze.
Yeah. I ate at the Three Broomsticks in Orlando. It was really good.
The food is good, and it's themed. It's everything, every minor detail, the way things look and smell, the way that the people are dressed, what do they call them? They have a name for it. The cast members. Yes.
No, it's full immersion. It looks like you're walking down Diagon Alley. You go into Ollivanders, and that was freaking awesome. I had such a good time. Cool. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. So
I thought Star Wars would be that. And by the way, I know a quick story. A friend of mine works at Knott's Berry Farm. They are a competitor, obviously. They're it's low cost. So
low cost that's where all the partiers go.
It's fun. I go there for Knott's Scary Farm every year. It's better than Universal because it's not overrun. Anyways,
I need the EW article, by the way, Lady Greymaster.
So the original plan for Galaxy's Edge was to have things happening that would occur there. They had smugglers, and they would have like a whole thing play out in people having Star Wars like fights in the park in Galaxy's Edge against stormtroopers and smugglers. Was a whole storyline you could follow that would play out in the park, right? Like a live action story that's happening before your eyes. Canceled, all canceled, all canceled. And then Knott's hired those same actors, took the storyline and put it in their Western land.
Smart. That's smart. Like all the stuff Disney is not willing to do due to PC crap, every park should be picking up on, which Universal is doing. And it's like, it's not like Universal's this super based company. They're just a company that recognizes, oh, there is a huge market being deliberately left open by Hollywood, by one of its biggest companies. Hey, you want to talk about a market being deliberately left open? Lord of the Rings. Even I don't. War of the Rohirrim sounds like a bait and switch and it's terrible. But like bringing back Peter Jackson, like while Amazon is producing their most expensive TV show, is a giant piece of the market being left open because you're trying to adapt Tolkien. But what you're doing is breaking it. You're not adapting it. It's fanfic, and you're pushing intersectional BS. You're pushing the message in Tolkien when he had his own messaging. Problem is, it directly contradicts the cultish beliefs of Hollywood. So not only will they not produce proper Tolkien, they can't. They don't even know what the hell it is. They have no concept of it. They could read the book and they still wouldn't understand it. Based on you can put that back up.
That's why
I was going to share it.
They don't know how to do heroes at all. You know?
No.
They don't know how to do it.
Were you just showing the pictures there, X-Ray Girl, or?
Yeah, there was a video on Entertainment Weekly, but I put up your article instead. Whatever you want.
We can look at the video for visual aid after this. That would be fine. No, okay.
After this,
okay.
After this.
Remove an article when I say remove an article. Okay. You and Garrett are both quick on the pull. It's like, wait. Wait.
If only they were the same with this show.
Yes. The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power stars Shine and EW's exclusive cover shoot. Do they? Do they? It's so freaking cringe. We've also got exclusive episodic and behind the scenes shots for season 2 of Prime Video's adaptation or of J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle Earth mythology or fanficology. We'll call it fanficology. Welcome back to Middle Earth. This month sees the premiere of season 2 of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, and Entertainment Weekly has your scoop on what to expect. In addition to our new digital cover story, check out our full photo shoot with the stars, along with some exclusive episodic and behind the scenes pictures from the upcoming season, which premieres August 29th on Prime Video. The heroes and villain of Middle Earth return. Now look at that. Now they do these all the time. And this one, I mean, I don't know how this gets people to go to your Tolkien show, but I they did this with Star Wars and Vanity Fair forever. I'm fine. It's the video that they do, which is just, it was cringe when they did it with Dune too, to be fair. I mean, these are just cringe. Like I would advise against these because it just gives us fodder, all these faces should be familiar. Hey, are they familiar, everyone? Hey, can you show me Elendil? How about Durin the Third? How about Celebrimbor? Where's Celeborn, by the way? Where's Celeborn? If season 1 was like the hero's journey, season 2 was like the villain's journey. Was season 1 the hero's journey? Is it a hero's journey, Chris? Is it a hero's journey?
No, it's not. And the thing is, when I see stuff like this, they are dictating the bullet points of what they want to be in the article. These stories are ghost written by publicists. That's what it is. They give you this bullet points here, kind of work this in, and even they get almost like political talking points. They get the cast and spokespeople on behalf of the show to repeat the same things so that it will make it into the article. That's how they're positioning this to be this. Whether it is or not is up for debate, but this is how they want it to be seen or thought about. And I hope somebody does a video on those the weird like sort of reveals of the characters. It's so ridiculous. The character reveal thing where Galadriel is just, it's like a terrible looking dress that looked bad on her.
Oh yeah.
It was not complimentary. So
season 1, they called a hero's journey, where they completely subverted Galadriel's story, where she was suspicious of Sauron. She was the one who warned Celebrimbor that she didn't trust him and he shouldn't move forward with working with her. She was with her daughter. She traveled across Middle Earth. She founded lands. She did a lot of very heroic things as the epitome of femininity in Tolkien. Graceful, powerful, respected. You know, she did question whether she yearned for power. Yes, she was athletic, and for some reason they've taken that quote, they being all the Rings of Powers fans, and all of a sudden turn that into warrior Galadriel. So you're going to take one quote and turn her into warrior Galadriel, but you'll completely ignore the fact that they've left out her daughter and her husband and her entire journey. So is it a hero's journey or is it a hero's journey? To spend the entire first season after you spent 1,000 years looking for somebody without a map, running into him in the middle of the ocean and almost getting down with him? Is that the hero's journey? And then letting him go when you found out who he was after he helped Celebrimbor, who is definitely the LGBTQ plus character, make the Rings of Power? Is that a hero's journey, Chris? Is that female empowerment?
I guess their version of it, but I think it's really bad.
So scroll down a little bit. Galadriel, Morphic Clark, may have failed to detect Sauron's disguise in season 1 and failed to tell anybody when she did find out, but she won't give up her desire to protect Middle-earth from his machinations that she allowed to happen. So I want to make this perfectly clear. Within the rules of the show, within the story of the show, Chris Gore, everything Sauron does now is actually Galadriel's responsibility. She could have stopped this. She could have at least warned people who could prepare more. But she allowed Sauron to get away. She didn't tell anybody, which allows him to put on a wig and come back and fool Celebrimbor, the master of disguise.
I barely remember season 1, but I remember the way that they met on the ocean was stupid. I thought this is the dumbest thing. It was, am I wrong? Like that was really terrible.
That was the single most contrived thing I've ever seen in storytelling.
It was bad. So bad. Really bad.
Really bad.
Yeah.
She's at a crossroads. She's had to let go of the idea of her husband, obviously, herself being magnanimous and completely wise. Also, she's got this ring, this new power, and the question really is, who is she going to be? Well, not Galadriel. She doesn't know. Well, we know she's not going to be Galadriel. Galadriel spent most of season 1 fighting alongside Halbrand, who was supposed to be a subverted Aragorn. He was a king of the South, but they did a whoop-diddy-doo on you, and they said he's Sauron, and man, nobody could figure that out at all, except we did. Some of us knew it beforehand, too. But who she believed to be a noble prince, because he told her, the wise Galadriel took his word for it. The revelation that he was actually Sauron in disguise the whole time has shaken her so much she didn't tell anybody. She has really made a fool of herself. Yes, she did. The elves aren't really known for doing that. So she's in a whole new space. Don't you love what they've done to one of the greatest female characters ever written? They made her a fucking idiot in the name of female empowerment because they wanted her to fight, because that's supposed to be empowering. I think not being a fucking idiot is empowering. A new space where she's no longer the voice of authority and reason. He's been very successful at destabilizing his enemies. They've been very successful at destabilizing the show. Whether they're in close proximity to each other or not, their relationship is going to be a theme throughout the show. She symbolizes good and he symbolizes evil. And Celebrimbor symbolizes a master smith who didn't know about alloy. Sauron has exchanged one elf companion for another. He spent most of season 1 with Galadriel, and he will spend most of season 2 alongside Celebrimbor, who will totally not recognize him with his wig on. Celebrimbor has the ability and Sauron has the vision. I can't read any more of this. If you've forgotten season 1, like Chris, because you want to preserve your precious brain for other stuff, I understand that, and you don't have to watch the whole series again. I have a supercut coming out Thursday of my reviews from a couple of years ago.
I need to watch it. I'll watch it.
It's coming out tomorrow.
Can't wait.
Just as a little refresher. And I'm working on another video too. But in the meantime, you will get a supercut. Those are fun to make. Yeah. Can't wait for the Rings of Power. The one good thing, Chris, is we'll be able to cavort and exchange memes with the Fellowship, which is tons of fun. That was lots of fun.
I might get screeners early.
Ooh.
I did last time.
3 episodes. They're releasing it once, so maybe you get a little more. Hour and a half.
Per episode?
No, hour and a half.
Oh, God.
No, it's 3 hours. Sorry, 3 hours. Hour per episode. Yeah, hour per episode.
Yikes.
Let's get the soups. We're kind of on a time limit today, so apologies. But did you hear that? Who is X and Rumble partnering with to sue?
Oh, I don't know. I heard about that.
I heard it wasn't Google, right? Because Google had a judgment against them. But they're partnering up. I think it's an ad. I think it's an ad firm or organization or company that was. Here's a breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Giant corporations lie and deceive. Facebook has been busted multiple times. Paying for Facebook ads and impressions is insane. Burn money. You might as well just burn money because they're all fake. They're all fucking fake.
I've done that before. It's BS. It's awful. It's the worst.
It's all fake.
So yeah, I'm not even on Facebook anymore. I think Film Thread has a Facebook, but I couldn't log in and I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's there for us to. Yeah, I share the videos there, and that's the only interaction I do. I haven't spent any real time on Facebook in years.
It is more censorious than any other platform.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Facebook. So I'm like, why am I on this thing that doesn't even let me talk or even my friends freely talk? I said, I will not participate in Facebook. So,
David Hand has gifted 20 Nerdrotic memberships for $100. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it. The members, thank you. What's our next watch party? We got to do a fun one before we do Rings of Power.
Do the Cape Crusader. I just watched them all. Oh my God.
Oh, dude, we didn't get to talk about that. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. I
bad.
can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it. But it seems, Gary, does it seem, quick aside on that, does it seem dated? And what I mean is, it's so predictable. It's like, oh, this is dated. These ideas, this approach that they're using, it's very
Formulaic.
It's formulaic woke. And everything you can predict it, all the strong female characters, and they're all like, I hate to say, they're all fat, right? Like, it's weird.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
Chunky.
they're chunky and unattractive. There's whole episodes where they have storylines and you're like, this just seems dated.
It's
a couple of the episodes, Batman is like barely in it.
It's very much from last decade.
Yes, and it also, the stuff with the psychologist and Bruce was just, it was like the writers trying to take down the character of Batman and just break it down. I took notes. I was like, I could not believe it. But it was like, I'm glad it was over quick. And even the animation sucked.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
It wasn't like,
Some people were trying to clap back on that. I'm like, guys,
it's
come
not
on.
good.
Go back and watch Akira. Go watch Savage Planet. Get like fucking Heavy Metal. Like go watch some animation. Go watch Batman the Animated Series.
Fantastic Planet.
This was for one, all the vehicles, like they were way too smooth, and then the body movements, it was like they were dropping frames. Now to be fair, that could have been the platform dropping frames, but there was no fluidity to the movement. It was really basic animation, and that's fine if you have a really good story. If you have a really good story, I'm fine with basic animation. But like when you have a garbage story, and then it's just like this herky-jerky animation. It's like, oh, Bruce Timm's name's on it. He did the characters. So what? I don't care.
Yeah, it's weird. Like,
shadow of his former self.
I don't even mind if the animation's not that good. The art style is bad.
Yeah,
like,
it's not attractive.
Like that's what made the original animated series from the 90s so good. Not just the storytelling. Like, the storylines of characters, they took their time. It evolved. Like, that opening sequence of the animated series is classic. This is a garbage, like AI made crap version of it. It's awful.
Yeah.
So Alan and I are going to talk about it.
Go watch Fleischer Superman. Go watch those older Fleischer Popeyes. You want to see like good animation? Yeah, don't even put that in the same realm, in the same universe. And the storytelling is utterly awful. You know what's coming out in 6 days?
What?
Watchmen animated series.
Oh yeah, is that on Max?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be on Max.
Oh.
You will see no promo for it. Apparently, they had no money for marketing, so it's just gonna be a very quiet release. But yeah, 7 days, and it's supposed to be just adapting the comic. That's all. Adapting the comic. You might get a preview of that. You never know.
We'll see.
But yeah, not good. It's Batman the Intersectional series. That's what it is. Tomahawk for 50. Well, with the birthday talk, I might as well chime in with it being my birthday. A few years ago, I somehow got shingles, and the doctors told me they have a vaccine for it, but I was too young to have it, and somehow Speedrun getting Speedrun?
Speed ran.
What's Speedrun?
Like running fast, like you speed run it.
Speed ran? I've never heard that term before, but maybe just because I'm dumb. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Somehow I speed ran getting sick. Good times. Sorry. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
About last, like getting sick, but yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah. I've been sick on my birthday before. When you have a lot of birthdays, you're eventually going to get sick with one. Happy birthday, Tomahawk. Cheers. Norman Al Mann for 20 Canadian pesos. For Gary and Chris, if you were given creative power, how would you go about properly introducing the X-Men and mutants into the MCU? How would you explain the hatred, fear of mutants in a way that would make sense? That's really tough. That's really tough. The way you do that is you reset and reboot the MCU. You start with the Fantastic Four, and you start with very, very few X-Men. The biggest problem in the comics, this is why the X-Men lost me at one point, is because there's a point where it started not making sense. Like the Avengers would let all this crap happen to the X-Men? Hell no. Hell no, they wouldn't. Some might, but Cap wouldn't. Iron Man wouldn't. None of them would. They're heroes. And there was too many damn X-Men to the point where they reduced the numbers. And I thought I was really behind that at the time. But there was just too many X-Men. Marvel Comics did entertain the thought of putting them in their own universe.
It's weird because they'd introduce X-Men. I wouldn't even know what their power was, you know? That's why I like the classic X-Men, the yellow and blue suits, you know, the Angel and Beast and Iceman and Cyclops, Marvel Girl, you know? That was great.
Yeah. So you started out with, X-Men 1999. Is that when it came out? That you have a few mutants on each side.
Yeah.
You have a few mutants on each side, and they're incredibly rare, but there is some that think they are Homo superior, that they are the dominant race and they will take over. And you have to find a way to balance with that would be something you'd have to address. Like these powered beings, they kind of did it. They did a really like backyard battle version of Civil War than they did from the comics. But I think it is an interesting concept of like, these are all weapons running around here. And do you register them? Do you not? And, you know, and there's going to be certain people on certain sides. You do the same thing with the X-Men. And continue the theme of the early comics, which is Professor X is always trying that uphill battle of like, hey, we're not the bad guys. We're going to work with humanity, and we're going to work against Magneto. And then too many people, you know, like too many creators became fans of Magneto, to where Magneto was right. No, he wasn't. He's a villain. He's supposed to be a villain. He's a damn good villain. He's got a reason to be a villain, but he's a villain. So
I would make it a period piece. Make it a period piece, you know. It solves a lot of problems. You know, I mean, this Cape Crusader series set in the 40s. Why are they not doing a Batman live action in the 40s? Or the, you know, like that, you know, that book, that Russell Beatty book.
Yeah.
1919 to 1939. There's your Batman. Do that as a TV show, separate from James Gunn. Just do that.
Lou-haired Blandwell for 1999. Chris, you psychopath. I watched The Coffee Table because of you. Anyway, Hale, keep feeding the duck lips. Those duck. Oh yeah. Find that article and just pull up the picture. Yeah. Pull up the picture of the duck lips.
Is there a bad photo of me in there?
No, I mean, dude, you didn't. Yeah. So Chris Gore made the Daily Mail a couple days back.
I never saw it. They never reached out to me. I all this stuff is like quoting me on other shows. Apparently no one watched. What is that?
Look at that.
I know who took that. Artist photographer. Wow. Did they find
there's 5 pictures.
That is Frank Gore right there.
That is so gay.
Oh, never mind.
That is the gayest photo.
God, I mean, it's good.
Were you really cold? Like you wore a sweater underneath your jacket?
It's
Saturn Awards.
It's great for headlines, but to elaborate like what the purge was, and this purge happened a while ago, by the way. Victoria Alonso was part of it. She was definitely part of it. And it was people who are a pain in the ass. It's people who are activists. And it was also people who didn't give a shit about the comic books.
Exactly.
Care less. And that's changing. And I know for a fact, one person that they hired, they brought in to fix shit, like straight up fix shit. Now, the problem is they have to fix what they have. And they have a lot of crap. And instead of shoveling the crap into the freaking sewer where it belongs, they're going to try to make it work. And I just don't think that's possible. And
I have no inside knowledge. I predict Ironheart drops in January, all episodes one day.
Yep, not a word. I would agree. They'll give it the echo treatment.
Yeah.
They'll give it the echo treatment.
You can take that photo off the screen, Gary. We
No,
don't
keep it up for the rest of the show.
No.
No, you can. Adrian Curry, the birthday girl. Adrian Curry's running around going, "It's my birthday month. Let's go." No, she's not.
She earned it. She's 42.
The answer
Perfect.
to life, the universe, and everything. She is now entering the age of wisdom, adulthood. She's not a dude, so she doesn't have to worry about the midlife crisis. So she's not going to be going out, buying a Porsche or whatever. She's living a good life out there. And so she had Stan Lee wished her happy birthday, the late, great Stan Lee when he was alive. She put that up there, and William Shatner. So that's W. That's a massive W. And she says, the nicest thing that anybody has said to us all day, far-right nerd streamists.
I like that nerd streamists.
Nerd streamists. Noons for $184.99 United Arab Emirate pesos. Noons loves the nooner. Everybody loves a nooner, but thank you. Thank you, Gary, Chris, X-Ray Girl, and the chat. You guys are the light during the dark times. Hail. Well, things are changing. I just want to caution that this ain't going to happen fast, and a company like Disney, maybe Marvel will change. But as you and I both know, Chris, Kevin Feige doesn't have ultimate power there. He does not. He does not. Lucasfilm ain't changing. But if Marvel changes, that will force change with everybody else. That will. So we'll see. It's going to take 3 years. You're going to have to be real patient. So, Sergeant Curtis Schultz for $19.99. Chris Gore, it would be awesome for Nerdrotic to do a show on Maxnick's Islands, staying a night at the Grand Hotel. How awesome would that be, Chris? What's Maxnick Islands?
Is it the Mackinac Island?
Mackinac Island. It's in Michigan. What?
Oh, that's how you say it. It's Mackinac?
Mackinac.
It was,
sure.
Michigan.
I'm up for anything.
We'll see how the election goes if I set foot in that state. Sorry. Malakot 63 for $20 on the Streamlabs side. Chris, did you see Everything Before Us and Indy, a movie from 2015? Everything Before Us. You ever see that?
I don't remember that movie.
People are assigned a relationship score, which affects everything from credit to what bars they can get into. The agency assigned scores is the Department of Emotional Integrity, DEI.
Whoa.
Wow.
Well, I got to look up this movie. What's it called again?
Everything Before Us.
Everything Before Us from 2015.
I am going to look it up.
Chris Rabisky Art for $20. Hey, guys. It was an honor meeting you at the meetup 2 weeks ago. It was an honor meeting you. It was surreal and felt like meeting two good friends I've spent years listening to. Mrs. Nerdrotic was kind to take a picture of us at the bar. Thank you and hail. She is. It was great seeing you. It was great seeing you. Thanks for coming out. Our next meetup will be San Antonio. San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Andre CR for 2,500 Martian pesos. Hey, Chris, love the Daily Mail article of you doing the blue steel from Zoolander. I'm still waiting for my laptop's password, though. Lady Grandmaster, who's not supposed to be super chatting for $10. The only consistent question from pretty much all the investor reps was about the parks. That means investor numbers are way down. Lower than what's reported for sure because it's their cash cow. Sorry, you were going to say something, Chris?
Oh, no, that's, yeah. I looked up that movie. It's on my watch list now.
Okay.
Nice.
Watch.
Cool beans. Cool beans. Yeah, I'll watch that too. Where can we watch it?
You have to buy it. So
that's fine.
Apple TV. So
I don't mind throwing a couple bucks to
on
an
my
indie
list.
movie. That I don't mind doing it all. I think the future really is, if you want to stay digital, is a la carte. It's just like, I'll buy what I want to watch.
Oh my God, it's like I think it's Korean.
There
This
you
looks
go.
really good, actually. So, yeah.
Well, I'm going to finish Kingdom because Drinker's video, like straight up Drinker's video on Kingdom. I'm going to finish it. I love that concept, by the way. I liked it. We just got distracted. Eyes of Memes for $5. Why did it take San Diego Comic-Con so long to end the health mandates? By mid-2022, COOF was basically over for the vast majority of people. Were they that retarded? They were in California, and yes, they were. And it was the city of San Diego and the leadership in San Diego. Now, not all of it. In North County, the leadership in San Diego was pretty based, and they were, if there were mask mandates, the sheriff came out and said, I'm not enforcing any of this shit. So good for him. Yeah. It's like North County is kind of like Orange County. It's still kind of normal, right? But Chris and I were marveling at the fact that, you know what? This is the first real con we've had since 2019 was this year. Yep. But Hollywood was missing from last year, and I actually enjoyed last year's more. So the part I like about the con is not the con itself. It's hanging with my friends. I had a good time sitting out at our little location that we go to eat, having nachos and hanging out with Chris. That was fun.
Yeah, that our secret bar.
The secret bar restaurant. Yes.
It's secret bar.
That anybody can find. Never mind.
Anyone can find
if they look for it. But they know. It's weird. It's so weird. WG for 50 on the Streamlabs side. This Streamlabs donation is under attack. Oh, yeah, there's that. I've talked about it enough.
The attack thing. I laughed. But by the way, I did not quote tweet that guy. I didn't reply to him. I don't want to give him any engagement. F that guy. There was a guy after who defended you, had a great breakdown defending you. And I jumped into that conversation because I've had haters come after me. I don't want to give them even F them, and F that guy. What a coward. He's no way gonna spit at your feet. What a moron. I was so effing annoyed. But F him. That second thread was better. Sorry, Gary. We haven't spoken since that happened.
No, it's fine.
The
guy's never gonna confront me in public. It's never going to happen. Okay. It's just never going to fucking happen. It never does. We walk around in public all the effing time at cons. We're at a bunch of cons. I have never had anybody even give me maybe a dirty look. I can't even. Well, no, that was the Black Girl Nerds. The girl from Black Girl Nerds gave me a dirty look for sure.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But that was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
You can't walk like 10 feet without like, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture?
It's awesome. Please come up and say hello. I love it. Absolutely love it. It's rad. It's rad meeting you guys. I'm grateful. It's very humbling to be in this position. And yeah, when somebody it'll happen to Chris again. It'll happen. So actually, I think somebody tried to do a similar thread to the drinker. I guess I'm going to try to make it. But there's a live stream tonight with WDW Pro, and they're looking into the bot angle. I do not want anybody to go after this dude, do anything other than like, if you want to argue the ideas, that's fine. But listen, I'm not the boss of you, so you do what you want to do. But I would say just argue the ideas or ignore it. But yeah, it was weird.
They never engage with the ideas ever.
No.
And that's what's pathetic. Engage with the ideas, do that. Even the Black Girl Nerds, I'm like, well, discuss it. Like my attitude is I will talk to anyone. I don't care what your opinion is. Let's discuss those things. But those people are they have mental issues. I really do think it's some sort. It's about they've got issues with themselves.
Yeah.
And they're projecting.
Yeah.
That comment about we've allowed, those two words, we've allowed. Who are you to think that you can allow? That's not for you. That's narcissism. It's disgusting behavior, and those people are best ignored. Ignore them.
Yes, ignored. And I mean, the biggest mistake, and I've said it before, was like him. I'm assuming it's a him going after fans, right?
Right.
Like that never freaking works. Someday somebody's going to figure out that doesn't work. Blaming the audience, blaming the customer. I saw that with Furiosa. So many people going, well, people are just too dumb to understand movies. I'm like, oh, wow. Holy shit. You think a lot of yourself, 25-year-old on Twitter, who hasn't probably left your fucking parents' bedroom, who put you through school, and all you got was some, studies course degree, and then you want to lecture adults who work every day and raise families on what they understand about a Furiosa film? Fuck off. WG for 150. All jokes aside, brother, happy birthday. Oh, we are. God, man, can we thank you? Can we put that off as long as possible? We still got a few days, but thank you. I'll take the happy early, very early birthday. Celebrate me.
It's your birthday
Woo!
month.
Birthday month. Yay. Wait, what day is it? Can you
18th.
Maybe
say-
it's a Sunday.
It's out there already. I used to not say, but now it's like whatever. Yeah, I think it's Sunday. Yeah, it's Sunday. Yeah. Not this Sunday, but next.
2 weeks.
All right. I'll be there for the birthday stream.
There will be no birthday stream.
It'll be Forbidden Frontier, if anything.
There'll be Forbidden Frontier, but there will be
I think it's weird when men do a birthday stream.
I think it's really weird.
I think it's weird. It's like, give me attention. It feels like a girl thing. Like, that's fine. A girl, like, whatever, is still a red flag to me, but if you
want to, it's fine. I honestly don't care. But just to pull, like, I get to turn 55. Like, that's just like I'm alive. That's my present. If I wake up that morning and I am AARP, baby, I get discounts on. I'm excited about it. I get discounts on movie tickets pretty soon. I'm gonna get discounts on my benefit on medical benefits. It's awesome.
Welcome to the club, Gary. I was at Ross yesterday.
Yes,
bought 2 pairs of shoes.
You get 10% off.
I got the senior discount.
Did you? And and you bought shoes for comfp? You bought shoes for comfort.
Well, for
that started
shoes.
at like my 30s.
Yeah. B-Chain 315 for $10. Hail Gary, X-Ray Girl, and Gore. Love you guys. Chris, I think I heard you say on a previous stream that you had a motorcycle at some point. Do you still ride? What bikes have you owned? Cheers.
I had a 1972 Triumph Daytona 500. I rode for years. I stripped it to the frame in the 90s, painted it. I got a friend of mine to paint the tank, re-put it back together, and then I rode that for years. I saved so much money. Like, it's so cheap for gas. I never paid for parking, but I almost got killed a couple times because people in LA drive like shit. So I haven't ridden in like over 10 years, but I'm thinking about getting a bike just for fun. So I've been like getting the urge. I watched Bike Riders, that movie recently. I was like, kind of want to ride a bike now. So I'm thinking about getting out there, but I rode that bike. It was so fun, but God, it was I still have my motorcycle boots. I have these like up to the knee cop motorcycle boots that I'd wear. I had the half helmet they call a brain bucket, and I would just wear that with the leather on the sides. It was leather on the sides, brain bucket. I did have a full face helmet eventually, but what?
Oh, just motorcycles freak me out because I've seen so many accidents.
Yeah.
I've seen them, and I had 2 friends.
You go to rotten.com and remember rotten.com, dude? Oh shit.
But I would also never drink when I drove a bike. I never drank alcohol. Like I'd have like a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
I was really like, I took it seriously, but yeah, I'm thinking I should get one just for shits and giggles.
I am not allowed. Like outside of the like basic rules and parameters of marriage, Mrs. Nerdrotic doesn't like I don't have a bunch of fucking rules. She's really cool and chill. The only thing she will never ever let me do is ride a motorcycle again. Like ever.
Why not? Get a Harley.
She wants me alive. It's a good reason she wants me alive. She knows I have no peripheral vision. My eyesight's not very good. and I am a like crazy fucking driver. Like I've been driving all my life in SoCal, and like I drive fast.
Well,
I drive fast.
I would do a trick where I wouldn't put the mufflers on exactly perfect, so it would leave the bike really loud, and that I think helped.
That's good. No, that actually helps.
Always, because when you get in the blind spots, you can't see the motorcyclists as easily.
Best part about Texas, the absolute best part about Texas, 80-mile-an-hour speed limits, and then you have the cushion, so you can go like 85. You can push it to 90.
Yeah,
in some parts of Texas, and just fucking haul ass. It's great.
God
bless Texas. Nick Brony for $4.99, and a MAGA morning to you as well.
Cheers.
Magnum Norse for $10. Brah, Gary, brah, the whammon birthed us. Therefore, we must bow down to these. See you next Tuesdays and destroy ourselves for money. And every dollar goes to people who never earned it. Well, that's what they want. That's what the establishment wants. By the way, you want to watch, if you want to, excuse me, I didn't mean to DSP you there. If you want an introduction, like a really well edited, like if you've never listened to Alex Jones or Forbidden Frontier and you want to go down that conspiratorial rabbit hole, if you want a nice packaged introduction to that, watch the Y-Files last video, the Illuminati Part 1.
Oh, I need to watch that still.
Freaking great. And it breaks down just the recent stuff. It doesn't go into I think they will, but it doesn't go into the history of the Illuminati. What it does is talks about the power structures of today and how their latest thing, which was the very organized housing and banking crash of 2008 that was allowed to happen, where nobody went to jail. There is people in jail for a long fucking time for far less than what these bankers did. They got bonuses. They got motherfucking bonuses while you lost your house, you lost your business, your kid lost their business, families, farms were lost. This was decimated our economy. But Ben Bernanke and Obama and all those fucks, and Bush was involved in this too prior to that too, took care of themselves, took care of the bankers, and fuck us. So that's the angle he takes. Watch the video. It's freaking great. All their videos are great. The production value, AJ is awesome. And it's one of the best channels. And there's a reason they're like about to hit 5 million subs. They get millions of views on their video because they're well done. They're very well done. So go watch that video. I think it's important. If you've been listening to Coast to Coast and Alex Jones and that type of stuff all your life, I mean, it's a good refresher. It's a good refresher. You know what? And it'll piss you off a little bit in the right way. It'll remind you about the banking crash and all the just fuckery that went on with that. And then you just go, oh yeah, okay, I can see how they can get away with COVID and locking people down and doing the same thing again.
What'll happen if they try again? Like
a COVID kind of thing?
Yeah.
It wouldn't work as well because it was new. So even Texas locked down for a little bit, and even Florida locked down for a little bit. And I know some Floridians and Texans are still pissed about that, which you should be. We Californians were locked down for a long time. And that's why we escaped to Texas. We came to San Antonio in March of 2021. Stayed here for 4 days and go, this is where we're moving. That's it. We're done. Checked out the area. We liked it. It wasn't Austin. So we thought about a lot of other places, but like, yeah. Freedom. That's why we went. There's more freedom here. Dude, God, Texans are going to get pissed at me. Gas is super cheap. There's no fucking smog checks. You know, your fucking stupid smog. Okay, for one, your car registration doesn't cost you a testicle. And you don't have to renew your license as often. It's not like every 5 years, like every fucking 10 years. You don't have smog inspections. So other people who've never lived in California are going, what are you talking about? Every 2 years, you have to go through this dog and pony fraud show to have some dude stick a thing in your tailpipe in your car and test your engine. And if it's not under the guidelines, you have to go get it fixed, which can sometimes cost you hundreds, thousands of dollars. And it could be just a little bit off, right? And that smog inspection costs money and it takes time. You have to go someplace, be there for an hour minimum. You don't have to do that shit here. They had safety inspection where a guy, like when you came here to register your car, they just looked over your car real quick. They got rid of that. And it was like $7.
Yeah, depending on how things play out this year, I have decisions to make. So
Texans are like, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up. I will counter that by there are a lot of guns here. Like if you are a Californian and you like to break into cars or break into property, I really wouldn't do it because a high amount of those people get shot. Very high amount of those people get shot. There's also a lot of churches. Sunday is kind of quiet. Old Californians will remember on Sunday, it used to be kind of quiet because people went to church. People still do that here. Lots and lots of MAGA signs everywhere. Freaking everywhere. So, and pot's not legal.
I hate the smell. I hate the smell. I recognize the right. I don't think it should be criminalized. Do it in your own home. It smells everywhere in LA, not Pasadena so much. It's rare, but LA, whenever I go to LA, there's not a time it doesn't reek of weed everywhere.
Weed and urine.
Yes.
Oh, that's a nasty mix.
Yeah.
Obi Pixel for a $9.99 British pounds proper money. Greetings, film and comic friends. Chris received your Star Wars funeral tea in Wales this week. Oh, Wales.
Nice.
Looks effing awesome. And Gary, an X-ray girl. I got the plushies. Oh, awesome. Nice. Chris, where's your FNT plushie? You're a legend. You're a legend.
Alan is talking about doing plushies for Film Threat. We would do like Flash, Gore, Don, and Ing the Merciless plushies, like versions of us as those characters.
I think that's a good idea.
That's
Should
great.
we do it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll put you in touch with. Well, I don't want to get Mahler. Well, Mahler is like. Maybe we should get in touch with him. Yeah, like ask him.
Should I DM him?
Yeah, just DM him. He's a busy guy, but DM him. Yeah, DM him.
You know how I feel about Big Plushie, but I might have to bend the knee to Big Plushie.
There you go. Richard Coleman, for 10 British pounds, RTD's doctor used 6 words to destroy a person trying to best to protect people. Here are 4 words following Savile and Hugh Edwards. Russell loves the BBC. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, the BBC is a bunch of fucking degenerates. Defund the BBC. They're fleecing. What's happening in the UK is a damn shame. Is a damn shame. Jet scale models for 5 Canadian pesos. I think Chris Gore is the coolest guy. I wish he was a personal friend. He's so funny. He's all right. Jimmy Ray for $10. How many people are going to vote for free stuff promised by Marxism once the recession hits them? A lot. The Singing Tigs for $5. Gary, watch Kurt on the Matt and Even podcast. Matt and Even, which Kurt? Hopefully you've heard of Matten. I haven't. I hadn't. It's hilarious. Hey, I'll get Kurt for Forbidden Frontier. Are you talking about Kurt Metzger?
Yeah, no.
Are we talking about Kurt Metzger? Because that's funny. Maybe it's a different Kurt.
Let's see. Matt and Even. His name is called. There's a person named Matt and Even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haven't heard of it. Well, we do have a Kurt coming on Friday Night Tights and eventually Forbidden Frontier. His name is Kurt Metzger. Yes. Kurt Metzger. We love Kurt. Kerp. Mikey Gussler for $10. Are you having a meetup in Orlando at MegaCon in February? Yes. Geeks and Gamers is putting it on. Yes. Because I want to go and I will need to know ahead of time to plan my PTO and get tickets for the airport and hotel. The plan is to be there. Yes. The plan is very much to be there. Magnum Norris for $10. Sauron is a means to a psychopathic end. Hi, King Fanor. Alpha Chad of Middle Earth. Go follow him on Twitter for $5. I'm very upset that they repurposed the name of Elrond's great-grandmother and gave it to an Asian diversity hire. Yes. Yes. So they repurposed that name and then they called it an original character. I saw you tweet about that. I talked about it too. And it was just to put X-Ray. Now, it got X-Ray Girl another gig. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for that.
I begrudgingly took it, obviously.
So I guess the actress who played Bronwyn didn't want to come back. So they had to replace that actress with another diversity hire and made up another damn character. Now, you don't have to read the Silmarillion. Just go to Wikipedia like most people go to anyway. Go to Wikipedia and just check out the Second Age. Just check out the Second Age. Check out how many characters there are. Check out how many effing characters are. You do not need to make up characters. You know why they have to make up characters? Because they don't have the rights to the Silmarillion. They don't really have rights to anything other than the appendices, which is nothing. Absolutely nothing. So it's fanfic. And they are going to do things to the lore. They're going to do horrible things to the lore. But forget about the lore. I said this about halfway through season 1, Chris. Forget about the lore. You don't need to know anything about it. It's a shitty TV show. It's poorly written. It's poorly acted. Even the effects, which they've obviously put money into, don't look that good because they're so inexperienced. These people don't know what the fuck they're doing. You go House of the Dragon, however anybody feels about the end of that it was a terrible ending. Each frame looks like a freaking painting, like a fantasy painting. Like they know how to light it. They know how to they know the right color tone. It's a little in the books, it's far more colorful, far more colorful. But it really works as an aesthetic on HBO. The muted colors, but you still get these grand castles that look ridiculous and the dragons look good. Nothing. And the only thing I will give credit for the Rings of Power was in the prologue when you had the eagle attacking a dragon. I'm like, all right, that looked okay. That was about a second. A second. And then we have that AI trailer out there of the Silmarillion, which is AI, but it's good. It's good. B-Chain 315 for $5. Hell yes, Chris, you need gear. I can hook you up. There you go. Ooh. Travis AM for $10. Story came out the other day about Tim Walz ingesting horse semen and had to have his stomach pumped. Do you think this will hurt him or harm his campaign? Not with the people who would probably vote for him, probably with every normal person around. But I also saw Joe Rogan talk about why he had to leave Fear Factors because he made a bunch of people drink donkey semen.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
I think I would be way more concerned with Walz allowing his state to burn down and not sending in the National Guard during riots for political correctness. I think that would be a much bigger concern. It's I think Valiant pointed this out. It's Walter Mondale Part 2. If you go back as far as Chris and I go back. Walter Mondale was brought in to win Minnesota, and that was the only state that didn't vote for Reagan that year in 84. Was it 84 or 80? I can't remember. I was 10 or 14. Andre CR for 2,500. Here is LatAm. We need Star Plus with ESPN. Disney got rid of Star Plus EOM June and merged it with D Plus. If Bob even mentioned a bump in subs on D Plus, that's why. There was no, they had a bump of 700,000, I think. But that was because they merged a bunch of shit. Yeah. And if you want to get into the nitty gritty of it after this, Valiant did a stream this morning. You want to go check it out. Go check it out. They get into the weeds on that one. I will just summarize it for you. They're full of shit. Disney's full of shit. They're not telling you the truth. They're hiding the fact that they're losing money. They're massively in debt. And despite having two very popular billion-dollar films and ruling the box office this year, their parks are down. And I think WDW Pro mentioned on that live stream, it was Valiant. You could have $7 billion films this year and wouldn't make a difference. Albert, not a retro, for 5 Canadian pesos. Birthday stream should only be done by adult women in their birthday suits. So X-Ray Girl, when's your birthday stream? That's
husband privileges.
That's husband privileges. Rings of Power is the worst birthday present that I could get. Eric Guidewell for $10. Yeah. 2 years ago, I got She-Hulk on my birthday. Last year, I got Blue Beetle. And we had a lot to talk about, you know. Should I read the tweet I was going to send? I'll read it. Hang on. Let me get to, did I put that in main? Yeah, I did. I didn't send this tweet. I write out a lot of tweets I don't send. It's called restraint. I don't show it all the time. But I was going to say this. You guys ready? They're very busy right now.
Ready.
Okay.
Ready. Wait, what?
I'm responding to the attacks and all the new followers I got on Twitter and the new subs. To all the new followers, welcome. Let's talk about Blue Beetle. Express our reservations about Echo, not that we've heard much about it. Discuss if there is something wrong with the Shang-Chi sequel, and question whether or not Miles Morales is Miles Morales. Welcome, everybody. Maybe I'll still tweet it.
Amazeballs.
Maybe I'll still tweet it.
Tweet it. Dude, that is so good. You got to tweet it. Please do. It's this anyone that
what do you think, chat?
I don't think you should tweet it. It'll give him more fuel to tweet more.
It shows these people. I have been dealing with these idiots. The type of people that go after you or all these. I've been dealing with those people since college.
Yes.
They are annoying. They have no sense of humor. They take themselves super seriously. They are offended by everything. All this sort of woke nonsense stuff. It's not new. It's college mentality that goes on. And back then it would get weeded out. Those people like, look, the real world doesn't work that way.
Nope.
When the real world started to pay attention to those idiots, that was the mistake. You have to laugh those people off, or just like, that's not how the real world works. They're the ones that are intolerant.
Yep.
That first sentence we've allowed. F you, man. Sorry.
That's right. No, it's all good. Danny Tapman, we're almost out of here. So Daddy Tapman for $5 ended up making it to Southern California Comics and had a great time. Jamie's an awesome dude. I bought Justice League of America, The Silver Age Volume 1, some Cap, Batman, Transformers, Cyberpunk, and Dark Souls comics. Thanks for letting me know where to go. Yeah, if you're in San Diego, Southern California Comics is the place to go. It is the best shop in San Diego. It's the best shop in Southern California. They have the best, if you're a back issue collector. Talk to Jamie Newbold. He is the owner, one of the best graders on the planet. Brennan Jones for $13.99. Great job for selling your stocks, Gary. You actually don't own them unless you hold physical certifications or are the direct registrant system. Oh, I still have my stock certificates for Marvel. Remember the Marvel stock, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was 2 different Marvel stocks. I have both the certificates. They're worthless now, but or you might be able to sell them. And I have all my quarterly reports. But yes, unless you hold them physically, you don't really own them anyway. Gay Nerdrotic. Well, I mean, it's like your house. Do you really own it if you're paying a mortgage? You own part of it, and it's still better than renting. It's still better renting, and that's what I did for many, many, many years. And people say, I can't own a house. And it's hard. It's like they don't make it easy for you, and the system is not easy. But houses were expensive when I was young, too. And it took me decades and decades and decades. And yeah. So I didn't own a house outright until I was in my 50s. And that was like living in piece of shit places most of my life. Just working, grinding. It's definitely harder now with the way they've set things up, but that is largely due to the fact that a lot of dumb retards in big cities keep voting for the same party and expecting different results for decades and decades and decades. Who don't open up the market, who restrict the market, which makes things more expensive. You see, like, things not changing. You know, the rent control thing, I can go off on this. If they got rid of rent control, rent would go down. Did you know that, Chris? Rent goes down when you get rid of rent control. Yes, collectively, because there's more competition. Yes, some places will be very expensive, but there'll be more places that are affordable. When you have rent control, fewer landlords. Free market, baby. Mwahaha. It is Gary from the multiverse. Oh, by the way, this is Gary from Nerdrotic for $5. Where he's even gayer. I will take down FNT, especially this universe, Gary. I'll be the they, them who remains. Don't get rid of that anchor being.
So stupid.
Pronounce Mackinac spelled Mackinac. Well, that's not how it was spelled. It was spelled with an apostrophe and an S, and it was broken up, and I wanted to say mac and cheese. That's what I wanted to say. But Mackinac, spelled like that. Yeah, totally. Get it. For some reason, but it's great to watch YouTube videos on it. It says Sergeant Curtis Schultz for $9.99. Piston for €6. I think it's the real BBC censor because you showed a picture of Gary with big melons. I actually went in and censored that, and it wasn't it. So it is a mystery to me, like what we would get age restricted on, to the point where I had to call my guy and just go, okay, like, tell me what we did. I mean, it's not going to change anything, but just tell me. You know, they told us this bullshit that they were going to tell us where the offenses were going to be so we could take them out. Or fix them or know not to do it the next time. And that just didn't happen. Difficult, not impossible with the paper bag. Aha. Oliver Morgan for $5. Did you see Godzilla vs. Kong released on ASL signing version on Max? I guess subtitles are ableist. Check it out if you want for a good laugh. I'm not watching that movie.
No.
I'll watch it. Godzilla -1. M. Spencer for $2. This show isn't made for me. I'm always on time. That's true. Albert Not a Retro for 5 Canadian pesos. Barbie, a movie by man-haters and simps for man-haters and simps. So it wasn't made for me either. Nope. Philip Butler for $1.99. D Plus doesn't understand supply and demand. No. If you go, like, what does D Plus have that you would go exclusively there for?
All the classic things I care about, I own on Blu-ray. Yeah. Like all the Marvel stuff or the Star Wars stuff and like classic Disney movies, I already have them. The new stuff I don't care about. It's not worthwhile. And 4K on streaming, I mean, I'll give Netflix credit. Their streaming of 4K is incredible. It's incredible. Good. But on all the other platforms, it ain't 4K. Yeah. It's flat out not 4K. It's compressed. The audio is shit. You're getting a much better experience for the most part on disc. With the rare exception of Netflix, whose 4K streaming is amazing.
And the audio is pretty good too. Audio is always superior, even with like you, me, and Tom and R&B could probably get into a like hours long discussion about like the compression and what the fuck's going on with 4K, but at least we're getting discs. By the way, I hate the overuse of grain on the older shit. Fuck that. Stop it with the grain. Okay. Just stop. But the audio was, holy shit, the audio on Dune.
Oh, yeah.
On the Dune disc.
I have that. I have it. It's great.
Fucking believable. Jackson Cagle for $2. Somebody call Bonnie Tyler. We need a hero. Or well, we keep on getting heroes. And the problem with the hero's journey is there is no journey at all. They were just great all along, and they just didn't know it because they were being held down by an unjust system. Ray, $4.99. When they gender swap Aragorn and not his wife in...
I wasn't sure what that was. MTG.
They killed two fences. Uses for me, but save me money. So here you go, Gary. Ray, I don't know what happened there.
I don't either.
Thank you, though. Jacob Wolf for $4.99. Would you ever be interested in seeing Del Toro canceled version of The Hobbit and Middle Earth? He never got to make enough of it. He got fired, by the way. He didn't leave. He got fired. I don't know what was behind his firing, but that was when I was doing all the Rings of Power research and talking to people. That's when I found that out, that he got fired. I would be interested in seeing it. Yes. The Topher Grace Hobbit edit. Topher Grace, which is like the Phantom edit for The Hobbit.
I've met him before and talked to him. He's a cool dude. He's cool. I should. Maybe he has a Vimeo link. I'll find out.
Well, I've got it. Somebody sent it to me.
Oh, someone sent. Okay, that's good.
I got it on disc. Yeah, it's great.
I love that. It's great.
I'm like, The Hobbit's bloated, but it's better than most of the shit we get today. So just is. Iguino Olivencia for $4.99. What's the update on Dan Vasc Man Bun song? He is constantly updating on Twitter. I think he's got it locked in. Like he wrote it in 9 hours and it's locked in. It seems to be going the way of your Mythical Picard review. No, actually we announced that I finally got him the notes and he turned it around pretty freaking quick. So follow Dan Vasc on Twitter, Dan Vasc 2, and he will update you.
When will it debut? Soon, right?
I think we get a demo like really soon. Like he said,
gotta
within days.
It has
so
to be
excited.
FNT. It has to be on FNT.
How you doing, Chris? Do you need to go?
I do need to go, but
Okay.
I put something in the private chat. If I could, or maybe I can share something. I supported many of your bad decisions during Comic-Con, if you recall.
What
I
is
don't know
this?
Here's what. Yes. Okay. They have Godzilla shoe. They have the men's too, but check it out. They are on the Godzilla website. There are Godzilla themed shoes. Look at them. Go back and you can. There's a link to the male version.
Oh,
but
here,
I pre-ordered. I may have pre-ordered it.
You may have pre-ordered the women's shoes. That's what you're saying.
The male shoes they have a heel to them though.
They have a little
I don't know
heel.
how I feel.
But the director of Godzilla -1 was wearing those. When I met him, he was wearing those shoes.
Are you going to show the male shoes?
That's
Yeah,
the
that-
male shoes.
No, show the male shoes.
That's the male
For
shoe.
real. No, that's
I'm
not.
actually serious. He sent you.
That's not a
links
male
to the-
shoe. Maybe in
Asian-
Japan. Maybe in
Look.
Japan, but not here, baby.
Anyway,
They're $700.
yeah, there's 7. So I probably will just resell them, but I don't know why I did that. And I was like, God, you were like the devil on my shoulder saying,
my
get him. So
I was
whatever.
trying to talk Jeremy into spending $3,000 on a Cobra throne yesterday. I hope I pressured him into it. I called him a pussy and everything. So
I saw the picture.
I mean, because he is. He's a gay pussy, but
He should have gone.
Wow.
yes, he should be sitting in that thing with his freaking Oakleys or whatever the hell he wears.
Yeah.
Those
Whatever
blue
this Florida guy.
sunglasses.
That's such a Florida thing. Yeah. Whatever. Macho Man. Whatever sunglasses he wore that no cool person ever wears. But
Can I just say that the girl shoes are cheaper than the male shoes?
they're girl shoes. Oh my God, shoes. These shoes cost $700. These shoes cost $700.
That was my first YouTube video I watched.
Oh my God, shoes. Philip Butler for $1.99. X is suing Harm for antitrust in advertising. Thank you, Philip. Yes, Harm has done some. Yeah, your company's name is Harm. Stephen 3000 for £5 British. Hale, do you think it cool for Az to get his audience to buy him a house? Is that begging? Do I think it's cool? He doesn't ask for people to buy him a house. What he does is he sets certain super chats aside in the book. Now, if somebody decides to give a super chat and say this goes to the house fund, he puts it in the book. It's not like buy me a house.
There's also a Bell's Treat Fund, so
yeah,
that's his kitty. So
people can do what they want. People can do what they want. Hazard Bicycles for $5. Hi, all. Today is my last day in the Cal Guard trading sergeant for Mr. There are still good men left. I'm sure there are. We need better leaders. I got no problem with the men and the women. Masked Eagle 1 for $1.99. And good luck. Good luck, by the way. Thank you. When are you coming to San Antonio? I'm here right now. I
think he's asking for it. It's during SpaceCon, the meetup.
It's during SpaceCon. Con. I always say com. That's coming up in October. Lot Be Loud for $4.99. Everything is about money. How does Lucasfilm continue to fail and still get $100-200 million budgets? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills because it's a loss leader at this point. Potential. It's all still built on potential and merchandising and strength of brand and reputations. And it's just people looking at spreadsheets and that's, you can't commoditize art. That many have tried and failed. You could certainly use spreadsheets and predict things and stuff, but what needs to be factored in is storytelling. And what Disney has done with the earnings call is no different than what they have done to themselves by trying to fool themselves into believing that the vast majority of the audience has most of them have just walked away. The majority has walked away. And you have a very, very loud sect of the audience saying, hey, we'd still like to give you money, but you're shit. But this is shit. And this is something fandom's always done. And then there's some rah-rahs, and they just want to pay attention. They just want to hear what they want to hear instead of actually doing an open, honest, soul-searching, thought-provoking analysis of their product. If they did that, they would definitely do what Marvel's doing right now. And Marvel put off for years, by the way.
And they need to make decisions based on data. They do. I mean, even Fox in the 90s, they wanted more Star Wars movies. Fox did a survey among fans and asked them, do you want to see prequels with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker in the early adventures? Or do you want to see the continuing adventures of Han, Luke, and Leia? And it was 80-20. 80% of people said, we want more Han, Luke, and Leia. And Fox presented this survey to George Lucas, and he said, I'm going to develop the prequels. So, but they did. That was Fox trying to say, please, George, make more Star Wars movies. This was in the early 90s. I was doing a magazine that was like an offshoot of Film Threat called Sci-Fi Universe. And that's when I learned that.
Yep.
Really interesting stuff. That was early days of Star Wars coming back, and it took its sweet time, but whatever. So
it did. That's when he had some restraint, and you miss it,
Yeah.
It was really well planned. Mikey Gussler for $5. Also, don't forget to bring Jay Longbone on Friday Night Tights on August 23rd to discuss the Crow remake, if I even bother to go see it. Matthew Hammond on the Streamlabs side for $5. I am so happy that Gary survived another year on Earth. Well, wait, we're not there yet. Maybe this year he will start Stargate SG-1. I have already started it. It's just plowing through it. That's a lot, dude. That's a lot to get through. Knee pain for $2. Chris and I equal ex Michiganders. Michiganders? What do you? Michiganders. We're used to lax vehicle regulations. There you go. Well, yeah, because you used to make them there. So sad what happened.
Yeah, we are.
David Della Gardella for $4.99. I almost worked on Rings of Power Season 1 as a swordsmith. Thank God I didn't. My friends who did work as artists and extras said it was a miserable and Amazoned New Zealand. Yeah, I heard it wasn't a good experience because there's a lot of people without it. Mothman on the Streamlabs side for $3.81. Did you see Ubisoft asked Star Wars Theory to promote their new game? No, I discovered his channel through the Acolyte, and he's genuinely such a wholesome guy. Star Wars means everything to him, the poor sod. Yeah. Well, I mean, he talks about Harry Potter too and Cobra Kai, so that's good. He'll with Disney Star Wars, he'll always have something to talk about, just not good Star Wars. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I heard they flew some influencers out. That's what happened with Rings of Power 2, and that's nothing new. That is nothing new. D. Wiley New Market for $4.99. My favorite thing last season was you calling Kella Brimbor Grandpa Brimbor. Yes. Grandma Brimbor. Which I will continue to do. Jackson Cagle for $5. Nooner rocks. Back issues rock. Yes, they do. Eric K for $4.99. Gary, would you say you're taking what they're giving because you're working for a living? Yes. That is a quote from the great Huey Lewis and the News. Nicholas Kreiser for $5. Gary, so old he literally just telephoned up God. I did. I telegraphed God, actually. Bo Tagonist for $9.99. This is the last one for the day. I finally watched Rebel Moon and really liked the Anthony Hopkins robot, Anthony Robotikins. He had the most gravitas and should have been the star. I laughed when the robot sighed in a scene. Movies would still be bad. It's horrible. It's utterly horrible.
But it's less bad than the original version. The opening scene of part 1, you needed that for context. There's none of this like paragraph of text about the universe. It was like they came and conquered a world. And that opening scene was good. Everything was long-winded. Everything could have been cut in half. Every single scene could be shortened.
Yep.
But I thought it was like, well, if that was what he was going for, he should have made that movie. There was
he could have. There was nothing stopping him. This was all a fake fucking campaign.
It was a fake director's cut. But I mean, I like this version better, but it's like going from a 3 to a 4.
I think it's still a 2 for me.
Dude, I watched them both back to back. It was like, but it was so bloated, dude. So long-winded.
So what do you got coming up, Chris?
I'm going to be on Sam Tripoli's podcast in like half an hour. And then I'm doing the Hollywood on the Rocks with Ing the Merciless at 1 p.m.
And you never know what news might be broken by Chris Gore on the Film Threat podcast.
Dude, news. We break news, and then I tell you the news I already said on other shows, and then you read an article about it, the news I said on some other. I hate it.
It's hilarious.
I just dropped something for you right there from Variety.
Oh, what's that? What's this?
Interesting. It's interesting.
Chris Gore on the Nerdrotic Nooner live stream drops new what?
Wow, that was quick. I'm kidding.
It's the increase in price of the Disney Hulu Plus ESPN. Yes, what we discussed.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep, across all Disney Plus, and they don't expect any churn from this.
It's going to be bad.
If you get the non-commercial highest tier, you might as well get DirecTV. You know, it's
right.
It's better to just go a la carte. It's better to just go a la carte. And the only way to traverse streaming services now is you have to, I'm going to watch a show and I'm going to, right after you're done watching that show, cancel the service.
Dude, I put reminders in my calendar to cancel things. And then I cancel.
Smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yep. Right. X-Ray Girl, what do you got coming up?
I'm going to be gaming later in the evening, playing Bayonetta and Poor Choices as well. Just to highlight again, Nerdrotic Art Contest, where we're looking for some artists to draw some pages in the Nerdrotic biography. So if you could send 3 examples of Gary happy, angry, and confused to nerdroticart@gmail.com by August 16th. For the contest, and you might be in the book, which is really
awesome.
exciting. And
also,
it's in the description.
Don't forget, you have white fetish reaction videos coming.
God!
And don't forget Starlink with that internet. Nice 180p there.
Am I really?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Hi.
So good.
I'm on 8-bit. It's fine. It's fine.
8-bit X-Ray Girl. I'll be working on a video over the next couple of days, but we have a supercut coming out tomorrow of the Rings of Power Season 1. The Rings of Power Season 1. I'm going to do a little refresher to get, it gives you time before the show comes out. And then Friday Night Tights, we have Kurt Metzger. We have Forbidden Frontier. Lots of fun stuff coming up. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. Hail the fellowship. Hail the fellowship. Live long and prosper. Yes, we've lost a lot. We've lost a lot, but we found each other. We found each other. And, nothing changes unless you say something. So keep it up. Keep it up. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Ciao.
Fight.